Welcome back, fitness friends. This is Stacy, and I'm so excited to bring to you my lower body aqua toning workout. All you need is a pool noodle, and that's totally optional. So get ready. Let's get started with that warm-up. For our warm-up, let's start with that noodle out in front of you, those legs wide, and we're just going to rotate to the right and to the left. So we're just going to pivot through our feet and hips here, so make sure that those feet are not grounded to the floor. We're going to rotate, trying to get that range of motion to increase as we swoop that noodle across the surface from the right to the left, getting those hips to stretch out, getting the sides of the body to move, just getting all the muscles to increase that range of motion through our joints. Stop the noodle in front of you and then bring one foot behind you. So you have the option of taking that foot, tapping behind and then tapping in, or tapping behind and then doing a knee lift in the front. This is going to help you to open up those hips and get a good stretch to the front of the body and warm up those glutes. Let's make this our last one, and then stay with the knee up in front, and it's going to be bent. And then we're going to take that hip and we're going to do a figure eight with the hip. So keep the leg bent and just figure eight your hip in and out in a figure eight sideways motion. Now if your hips don't like this, you're welcome to go ahead and make that range of motion smaller or avoid this at any point that doesn't feel right. Perfect. Let's go ahead and step back with the opposite side. Now we're going to step back and again tapping in, step back, tap in, or step back to a knee lift. Either way works, whatever feels comfortable for you. And again, the more range of motion, the better, because we do have quite a bit of legs, abdominals, and hips today. So the more we can warm them up, the better. Make this your last one here, and then keep that knee up in the front. And then again, as before, we're going to take that knee staying bent and we're going to make it into a figure eight sideways using the hips. So we're going to rotate hip in a sideways fashion, out and in, trying to get those glutes really warmed up, those hips ready. Again, if this bothers your hips, try to make this a small motion or avoid this motion. If you've had hip replacement, maybe not for you today. Bring both feet back down to the floor, and what you're going to do is to kind of do a tap out to the right and a tap to the left with just a little bound in the center. Small bound, but a big tap and reach on both sides. We're trying to stretch the sides of the body. So tap and reach with those toes. Reach to the toes, reach to the toes, reach to the sides of the body. Keep the motion going, but now let that foot lift up off the floor and let the hip come up a little bit higher on each side, kind of like a pendulum. Bring your noodle to your left side, just hold it there, and then your right side, just as you're standing really tall, just have your hands reach down towards the pool bottom as deep as you can go while keeping a tall posture. Reach down in a side bend, come up tall, reach down, come up tall. We're just going to warm those sides even more. Bring the noodle back in front for support, and we're just going to bring those feet up behind you. So we're just going to do an alternating right and left butt kicker. So we're just going to bring the foot up on the right and then bring the foot up on the left. Now as you're doing this, just try to get that range of motion to increase. So not only are we bringing up straight behind us, try to like kick them out in an angle to the back corners of your pool, because we want those rotators in your hips and glutes to get a little bit of range of motion here. So if you can't, keep them straight behind you. Otherwise, try to get a little angle back when you can. Bring the noodle to your right side, just hold it there for support, and we'll do those side bends now to the left. So then just stand tall, reach all the way down towards the pool bottom as deep as you can go without getting yourself with your face in the water, just reaching down nice and deep and then coming up really tall, down deep, up really tall. We've got our range of motion pretty much taken care of, so let's get some heat put into the body. Let's do a high knee in the front, so a right left, then we're going to do a wide high knee right left. So it'll be in the front, right left, then wide right left, opening up those hips. So, and let's start taking that into a faster pace. Let's jog it. High knee jogs, wide and narrow. We really want to get that body warmed up even more. We want the heart rate up. We want everything ready to go because we're getting ready to get into our first set of exercises. Hang in there just a few more moments. Give me about 15 more seconds and then we'll go get a water break and get ready to move into our first set. This first exercise, go ahead and bring the noodle in front of you. We're going to call this a hacky sack. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring those knees up in front of us. And as you do, we want to bring the inner thigh inward. So we want the inner thigh to lift up towards the surface of the pool. Bring the soles, the insides of those feet up and inward. So we're going to hold that noodle for support. We're going to bring those legs up, right, left. And then we're going to add noodle action if you want to, bringing the hand down towards each of those feet as we go. This is one option. The next time you see it, we're going to have the noodle behind, but this is your low impact option here, and for those who want to keep the noodle in front. Now remember, as we're doing this one, we want to stay really tall. We do not want to do any rounding forward. Let the inner thighs come up towards you. We don't want to round down towards those legs, right? So stay really tall and just push that noodle down a little bit stronger. Bring those legs up a little bit higher and hang out here just a little bit longer for me. Next, we're moving into what I call a mambo right. So put the noodle in front of you. Take your right foot, step it forward, then step it back. Step it forward, step it back. Now, as you're doing this, you're going to want to take that hip, and you're going to want to have to swivel that hip a little bit inward and outward. We want a little bit of like a salsa move here as you go forward and back with that hip. It's a mambo move. Now, once you get it going, let's take that noodle slicing across the water, and we're going to go faster, so it's more of a quick mambo. Have fun with this one. This one, you're really going to feel those abs. I'm going to give you a good 30 more seconds to have fun with this one. I really like this exercise. How about you? Let's go back to a hacky sack with the noodle in front and bringing the noodle down to each of those feet. That's your option. Other option is bring that noodle behind you. It's going to be a little bit more intense, so we're going to stay on one side a little longer. Once your noodle is behind you, just lengthen it on the left side a little bit longer than the right. And you're going to bring up that right leg. So opposite sides of the body, you're going to bring the noodle across. And we're going to just do a repeater on that right side as the left hand comes down to touch. Just keep on going. Remember to pull up through the inner thigh. We want to get a good inner thigh workout, and this is one way by really, really focusing and engaging that inner thigh. About 10 more seconds, and then we're going to bring that noodle in front because we have those mambos coming back. Bring the noodle back in front of you, hold on to it, and let's bring that left side now forward and back. Step forward and back, and once you get that motion going, we want to start speeding it up. We want to go a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger. You want to twist a little bit more through the middle. We want the hip to rotate, so try to step not only straight forward, but a little bit on a diagonal across your midline here as you step. We want to really feel the middle, and let's whittle it while we're at it, right? Keep it up. You have about 30 more seconds. Here's our last set of hacky sacks. Bring the noodle behind you again. Put the noodle a little longer on the right side, and let's bring up that left leg. Again, we're trying to target somewhere for that inner thigh, or maybe you can get closer to those feet, but stay really tall as you do this. We want to let those lower abs, those inner thighs do the work. How's those inner thighs feeling? Are you noticing them yet? Just a few more. Now bring that noodle back in front, and here is our last set of mambos. And this time I want you to pick your most favorite leg. Which one did you have the most fun on? We just want to move. So reminder, it's the noodle in front. We're going to go ahead and step forward and back. Try to swivel through those hips. Try to rotate that noodle so we get the middle as well. Have fun, everybody. Give about 10 more seconds, and then we're going to move into a new exercise. All right, slow it down, shake out those hands, and then bring the noodle behind you. You're just gonna rest into the noodle to help support you. And we're gonna stand tall. We're gonna bring those legs out into a V shape in front of us, and we want long legs. I'm gonna give you other options with this one, but this is a low impact one. It's gonna work on those abdominals. So stay really tall, pull the legs up to the right and left in a V shape pattern. Now to bring up our intensity, we're going to do more bounding. So you're going to bound from foot to foot, and as you do, instead of just bringing it as a straight leg up, I want you to add a little kick. So you're going to extend through the knee, so it's an extension through the knee kick, then you're going to bound and then extend through the knee and kick on the other side, right and left. Once you got the move, let's do it a little bit stronger, bound a little bit more, push through that foot a little bit more, guys. Give it your all here. Give me about one more, then bring your noodle in front. Now this one, we're going back to those inner thighs. Yep, inner thighs again. So what we're going to do is you're going to use that noodle. It's going to go opposite of your leg. So as your noodle comes to the right, your leg is going to lift out to the left in a hip abduction. So almost like a half pendulum. Then when you swing your leg down, you have the option of either tapping it down to the ground, or you can bring it all the way across into a soccer kick this time. So a soccer kick is different in the fact that we have a long leg. We're not doing a bent leg. So bring it all the way in, push the inside of the foot all the way across the pool. You got it. And even try to squeeze those inner thighs together. We are going to really get to those inner thighs today. Just about 2 or 3 more, and then we'll bring that noodle back behind us to rest on. Now we're back to those bounding V-shaped kicks. So now again, you can do long legs in a V shape, you can do a kick in a V shape, or you can do your bounding. And I have one higher intensity option coming today, which is going to be both legs in a cowboy kick. So we're going to do both legs. What you're going to do is you're going to sink down into that noodle. You're going to use it for support. You're going to hop up and kick those feet out at the exact same time into that V shape. You're going to bring them in, tap down, and then you're going to repeat. So try to tap all the way down and then repeat. This is a good one whether you're in shallow or deep water, because if you're in deep water, you don't even have to tap down. You can just pull those legs up really strong. This one's a challenging one. Hang in there about 10 more seconds. Bring the noodle back in front. Let's anchor into the left foot. This time the right side's going to move. So we're going to bring that right hip out to the side, lift, try to point the toes forward, and then bring that foot down, either tapping to the floor, remember that's your lower intensity option, or if you want a little bit more, you're going to bring that foot all the way across and squeeze the inner thighs in more of a soccer kick. So the foot can stay grounded, or you can lift it with a little push across with that foot. And remember, the noodle is going in the opposite direction of your leg. To get the most out of this exercise, try to really reach through your body on that lift with the leg, and then try to really squeeze those inner thighs. Let's get as much out of this as we can. You've got about one more, and then we need to bring that noodle behind us for one more set of those V kicks. Last set of V kicks, and this time I'm going to give you a whole minute here. So we're going to really try to get our cardio up, and we're going to really try to get those legs to fatigue a little bit. So settle into that noodle, and again, alternating right and left, or let's really do a nice big push off the floor and then kick and extend through those legs out in a V shape, and Take breaks as needed, but try your best to hang out there for a little less than a minute. Hang in just about 10 more seconds. Remember, you can always bring it down to a lower intensity if you need to. Let's bring our noodle back in front, holding it at the very ends here. We want a wide grip. We're going to step back with the right foot stepping back on an angle behind. These are called curtsies. So you're going to want to step back, tap the floor, and then step back in. As you do, the noodle is going to follow you back. So the foot that's going back, the noodle is going to go in the same direction as that foot. We're going to twist through our middle as we do this. So you want to stay really tall, curtsy back, and rotate through your middle. Stay on that same side. Let's stay with the noodle in front of us, and you can just go ahead and hold on to it. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And you're going to keep your tall posture, and we're going to bring those legs up in like a Frankenstein kick in front of us. So a right and left long leg. You want to point the toes towards the surface of the pool. Now you have the option of staying in a low impact, just alternating those leg lifts, or let's go to a higher intensity. We're going to bound from foot to foot and do more of a flutter kick. So keep the legs long, and we're going to quickly kick right and left. It doesn't have to go super high. We just want to go for a little bit more speed than height. You should be feeling your heart rate going up a little bit from this one. You only got about 10 more seconds. Let's go back to those curtsies. So we're going to use the left foot now. So take your left foot and step it behind in an angle. And as you step behind, the noodle is going to follow along on the same side as where the toe is going. We want to turn through the middle. So rotate through the middle as we curtsy back. And again, if it bothers your hips, take your step straight back instead of on that angle. While you're rotating, try to really look off in that same direction to try to rotate even a little bit bigger. Let's try to really use that middle. It's time for another set of those long Frankenstein leg flutter kicks. Again, really tall posture. Just keep the noodle in front of you for a little bit of support. And we're going to bound from foot to foot with long legs, toes pointing towards the surface. Again, you can always take it down to a lower intensity at any point. But here, we're really trying to get the heart rate up. And we're really trying to use those lower abdominals, those hamstrings. So really, really try your best on this one. Last set of curtsies. This time we're going to alternate sides. We're going to go to the right side, then to the left side. So step the right foot back, rotate, then step in, step to the left, and then back to the center. So rotating right and left. Now if you have difficulty turning side to side, you are welcome to always stay on one side, but let's try to get both sides. Let's get that range of motion through your middle. another 30 seconds on this one, and then we're going to go one more time with those flutter kicks. Hang in there, everybody. You ready to get that heart rate up again? Let's go back to those flutter kicks, Frankenstein style. Again, really tall, noodle in front. Bring those toes up and out in front of you, long legs. Let's bound from foot to foot. Let's give it our all. We got about 1 minute here. Try to breathe strong through these. Try to give it your all. We're gonna get those legs in shape, get those abs strong. Hang in there, everyone. You're about halfway, less than 30 seconds now, so stay strong, keep breathing, keep smiling, everyone. Let's take that down a notch. Now you're welcome to bring that noodle in closer to you to kind of support yourself and kind of sink down in the water. This one's going to be a plie and a crisscross. So plie is a wide stance, and we have the toes pointing outward on a plie, and then we're going to bring those feet in and crisscross them in the center. Plie, crisscross, plie, crisscross. Again, we're going to be working those inner thighs, those glutes, those rotators. Once you get it, let's add a little bit more, so wider, stronger, really squeezing those inner thighs together in the center. Let's give those inner thighs a strong workout once again. Now bring the noodle out in front of you and kind of come into a plank position, which means that you're just leaning forward. You're using your body in a straight fashion, so try to stay in a nice straight line. And then we're going to bring the legs alternating right and left up behind you. These are your butt kickers, so right and a left butt kicker. And while you're in that plank form, you want to pull in your abdominals, brace your middle here, and stay strong. And then once you get your whole posture set and you got the legs moving just a little bit faster on those, more bounding from foot to foot, widen your hands on that noodle as needed. Let's go back to those plie crisscrosses. So again, feet out in a plie fashion, wide in a crisscross center, plie, crisscross. Let's add some extra intensity on here, so let's make it stronger, a little bit more bounding. And then let's also take the noodle and do a push-pull with the noodle. So you're going to start wanting to push the noodle away from you and pulling it in. Push and pull. Let's get that water turbulent. We want a lot of movement of the water. It's just going to challenge you that much more. Give me about 10 more seconds. Let's go back to that plank form for those butt kickers. Again, that noodle can be out in front of you, or you can actually submerge the noodle. No matter how you do it though, I want to make sure that you keep those shoulders relaxed and down. So don't put any stress in those shoulders. Just use the noodle for support, and then put those feet up behind you, right and left. Now, for those looking for a little bit more intensity and challenge here, we're going to go ahead and do both feet coming up in a butt kicker at the same time. Now, this one's a lot more power needed, so you're going to put those feet both on the floor, and then you're going to push off really strong and try to kick yourself in the booty with both feet at the exact same time. This one's going to be a lot more challenging, like I said, so breathe strong through this, push off strong, try to kick strong, and take breaks as needed. But you know what? Maybe give it a try, see how it goes. If not, you can always go back to alternating, right? All right, I challenge you to just 20 more seconds. Hang in there, and like I said, give it your best. Go ahead and slow it down and get ready for our last set of exercises. We're moving into noodle pumps. The noodle's going to actually go under our feet, so if you need to set up closer to the wall, please do. Now we're going to put the noodle underneath the arch of your right foot. Now remember, it requires quite a bit of balance, so if you need to set up so you hold the wall or hold another noodle, please do. We're going to just push the noodle down to the floor using our foot and our abdominals. So pushing down, you're welcome to hold on to the noodle to help support yourself, or to actually skim the water with your hands. Whatever it takes, just try to stay really strong and tall. Pump the noodle down towards the floor and back up, and just breathe strong with big exhales as you push down. Welcome to go fast or slow with this, whatever challenges you the most. Give you another 20 seconds to finish up on this leg, and then we're actually going to go ahead and sit on our noodle next. Go ahead and straddle your noodle. So you're just going to sit on it with it between your legs. And then once you get your legs all situated and you're comfortable on your noodle, we're going to bring your right and left leg up in front of you with those Frankenstein. It's almost like a skiing motion here, right and left kicking out in front of you. And we're going to reach out and try to tap. So reach out with the opposite foot and arm and try to reach together. So like left hand reaches to the right foot, right hand reaches to the left foot. We're going to reach and rotate. About less than 20 seconds, and then we're going to get ready for those noodle pumps on our other leg. Slow it down, and then let's go ahead and get off the noodle and bring it underneath your left foot. Again, it's under the arch. Feel free to set up closer to the side again. Feel free to hold the noodle as needed if you feel more comfortable. And again, using those hands as needed to skim the water. We're going to just push down towards the floor and back up. Try to use a controlled motion in both directions. Have about 15 more seconds on this one, and we're moving along. Finish up about one more, and then let's go ahead and sit back on that noodle, and let's go back to that skiing motion where we're reaching across to each of our feet, reaching from the right to the left. And we're going to finish up our workout because we're closing in on the end here. So we only have about 2.5, 3 minutes to go. So we're going to keep it in a cardio pace. So we're going to just keep reaching across, right, left, and try to rotate through your middle, try to bound a little bit more, try to go a little bit faster. Let's keep that heart rate up for the rest of our workout. Push yourself, only about 45 more seconds on this one. You have 10 seconds, and then we're going to get off the noodle, and we have our last exercise coming. The last exercise, we're going behind. Now think of a V-shaped pattern. We're going to step behind in a wide fashion, then narrow forward. So it's wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Now I want you to get your foot pattern going, and once you got your foot pattern going, because it's a little awkward going backwards, so get your groove going, and once you do, let's get that going so we have that heart rate up again. So we will go quickly in that wide, narrow fashion, backwards V. Doesn't matter what foot you're on, and you can stay on that same foot the whole time, otherwise I'm going to have you switch halfway. Keep going. We're at the 1 minute to go point, so option to switch the lead leg. So once you get those feet going in the opposite direction, let's speed it up and finish it out with some strength and some speed, everybody. We're almost there. Last 30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8. Way to go, everybody. At this point, I need you guys to slow down your tempo, walk it out, maybe do a couple of laps around the pool. This workout does not include a cool down, so please make sure you do your own and be sure to do some stretching. I appreciate you joining me today for my workout. If you've had fun and got a good workout, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and then subscribe to my channel. It helps to support me. Thanks, everybody. Take care. See you soon.